What if the truth simply doesn't fit inside you? Picture this for a second. What you call the world might be nothing more than a user interface, a dashboard, the visible surface of something unimaginably bigger. Just like your phone shows icons, not electrical currents, your senses show symbols, not the machinery underneath. Now ask yourself something uncomfortable. What if your brain wasn't made to reveal the truth, but to hide it? Evolution doesn't reward accuracy. It rewards whatever keeps you alive long enough to pass on your genes. So clarity, coherence, cosmic understanding, non disso è prioridade. Nature builds for survival, not enlightenment. Aldous Huxley suspected exactly isso. Para ele, the mind isn't a spotlight, it's a curtain. And the everyday consciousness we depend on is just a tiny opening that lets in the amount of re. Here's the pivot point. We tend to imagine the mind as a generator, a machine that produces thoughts, feelings, perceptions. But another interpretation fits better with both psychology and philosophy. The brain is not a factory, it's a filter. You live surrounded by oceans of information. Everything emits signals. Everything carries stories. Everything contains more detail than you could ever track. And inside you, the same thing happens. Memories, predictions, interpretations, impulses, fears, daydreams. If you tried to process all of it, your system would overload in seconds. So your brain trims the world down until it fits. It selects for things that matter in terms of survival. Threats, rewards, patterns that help you navigate. It ignores the rest. You don't see the world. You see what your biology considers efficient. This is why you can watch a video counting basketball passes and never notice a person in a gorilla costume walking across the screen. Your eyes registered it. Your mind decided it wasn't relevant. The rule is simple. You notice what is useful, not what is true. Which means your perception is edited. Your experience is curated. Your reality is an abstraction that looks solid only because it has to. Most people know Huxley as the author of Brave New World. But the man was a hybrid. Part philosopher, part scientist, wannabe, part mystic, part skeptic. He spent years trying to understand the mind from every angle he could reach. He wrote about consciousness, religion, cognition, culture, and politics as if they all belonged to one long conversation. And he didn't just theorize, he experimented on himself, searching for what lies behind the everyday mask of the mind. For him, the brain wasn't a miracle lantern projecting experience. It was a reducing valve, a limiter. And the glimpses he claimed to have seen terrified him as much as they fascinated him. This leads to another idea Huxley defended strongly: the perennial philosophy. The claim is subtle. If you look across cultures and eras, you find recurring insights that seem to echo each other. For instance, the personal self is not the final truth. Reality is unified at a deep level. Suffering arises when we mistake appearances for essence. Wisdom comes from accepting reality, not rearranging it to match our wishes. You see versions of this in Buddhism and Vedanta, mystical Christianity and Judaism, Sufi poetry, indigenous spiritual practices, and even in secular philosophers who never used religious language. Now, this can mean two things. There is a deeper truth that different cultures touch from different angles, or humans have similar brains, so we generate similar metaphors when facing the unknown. Huxley leaned toward the first. Modern science tends to favor the second. Either way, it's striking how often the same themes return when people talk about seeing reality. Neuroscience today frames the brain not as a passive camera, but as a prediction machine. It guesses what is happening, adjusts when it's wrong, and presents the best guess as if it were fact. At the same time, culture shapes what you consider even worth noticing. Your worldview is filtered by family values, early education, religious or secular background, the metaphors. Your language allows the stories your society repeats. So the world you live in is a triple filtered fraction of what exists: biology, culture, language. What reaches consciousness is the sliver that remains after all those layers have erased the rest. This isn't pessimistic. It's a reminder that your perspective is local, not absolute, and that the persistent feeling that something is missing might be more insight than illusion. Here we move carefully. Huxley's famous essay, The Doors of Perception, came from a guided experience with mescaline in a very specific historical context. Today, these substances are regulated or prohibited in many places, carry risks, and can cause serious psychological harm, especially for teenagers or anyone vulnerable. They're not shortcuts, not toys, not spiritual hacks. The relevant part for us is how Huxley interpreted what he saw. He claimed that ordinary objects lost their labels and functions. A simple flower wasn't a flower anymore. It was raw existence, unfiltered presence, something too direct and too intense to fit into language. Modern neuroscience, studying altered states in controlled clinical settings, describes that during such states, the brain regions that maintain your sense of identity and filter sensory input become less active. The mind stops suppressing information it usually hides. In Huxley's language, it's not that you see more fantasy. You see less of the usual censorship. Not more imagination, but less reduction. Sounds beautiful, but there's a problem. People love the idea of seeing the truth. It sounds like enlightenment or awakening, but the full picture isn't always comforting. Imagine suddenly experiencing every emotion you've ever avoided, every fear without buffering every perception at maximum volume, no boundary between you and the environment, no stable sense of who you are. For some brains, this creates awe. For others, it creates disaster. It can lead to identity collapse, psychotic episodes, disorganized behavior, complete inability to function socially or practically. Think of it like giving a tiny circuit the voltage of a thunderstorm. It was never designed for that. Humans need filters to stay sane, and you don't need substances to destabilize those filters. Trauma, sleep deprivation, emotional overload, extreme isolation, or intense spiritual practices without guidance can also distort perception. So when people say, seeing reality might annihilate you, the point is simple. Your mind is built for the manageable version of existence, not the full one. If you remove the filters too fast, you don't become enlightened. You become overwhelmed. That's why so many traditions avoid forcing the mind open. Instead, they work gently, gradually. Through meditation, contemplative prayer, breathing practices, ritual symbolism, profound encounters with nature or art, reflective moments during difficult life events. The process looks like this. You learn to watch thoughts without obeying them. You see how your mind edits the world. You stop taking your internal narrator so literally. With time, you gain new layers of perception without burning out. It's not cinematic, it's not fast, but it protects your ability to function in everyday life. You don't leave the world behind. You move through it with more clarity. It's not about seeing everything. It's about seeing a little more than before. Huxley believed that enlightenment isn't a supernatural trance. It's a grounded, practical recognition of how things truly are. To be enlightened is to accept that reality is bigger than your stories, stop fighting every discomfort, see pain and joy as parts of the same fabric. Understand that life is what it is, not what your ego insists it should be. It's a fragile balance between vast perception and ordinary living. Very few people maintain it consistently, but the idea points to an important direction. Look clearly, but don't abandon your capacity to be human while you look. After everything, one realization lingers. You see only a fraction of what exists. Your identity is a useful sketch, not a complete autobiography. The full structure of reality is too large for any single mind. But here's the twist. That limitation is what makes life possible. If the whole truth hit you at once, there might be no you left to receive it. So why do we still chase glimpses of something deeper? Maybe because even one moment of genuine clarity can redirect a lifetime. One pause, one shift in attention, one insight that makes you feel connected rather than trapped. You don't need the entire truth to live differently. Fragments are enough. The whole of reality might break you, but the little pieces that slip through the filter can transform you completely. And maybe that's the perfect amount. There are moments in life when the world feels a little too heavy and a little too loud. Moments when the truth presses against the edge of your awareness, asking you to look a bit deeper, to breathe a bit slower, to remember that you are part of something far bigger than your daily routine. Maybe that is why you're here. Because somewhere inside you, there is a curiosity that refuses to quiet down. A desire to understand what lies behind the curtain of ordinary perception. A need to see yourself with more honesty and to see the world with more courage. And when you choose to watch a video like this, it's not just entertainment. It's an act of presence. It's you saying, I'm awake enough to want more. Every view, every minute you stay here, every thought sparked by these ideas, keeps this space alive. You help build a place where depth still matters, and that alone already means everything. But if you want to go one step further, there is a door open for you. Becoming a member of this channel is not just a badge. It's joining a circle of people who care about asking real questions, who value clarity over noise, who believe that the mind can stretch and expand without losing itself. Members help shape future videos, get access to exclusive posts, and become part of a community that grows together, little by little. And for those who feel moved to do even more, the Super Thanks button is there. A small gesture that fuels the work behind each script, each concept, each hour spent turning complex ideas into something you can feel. It's a way of saying, this matters to me. Keep going. But hear this clearly. Even if you never click anything, never join, never send a super thanks, the fact that you are here, listening, thinking, and sharing these videos already helps more than you know. If this content touches you, if it makes you reflect, if it adds something meaningful to your day, consider becoming a member or using super thanks, not out of obligation, but out of connection, out of belonging, out of that quiet sense of retribution that rises when something moves you and you want to give something back. And if all you do is watch or share or hit like, that is already a gift. You are already part of this. If you ever feel ready to step closer, the door's right there.